Hello there, my name is Ron Campos. My presentation is on sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation can have negative effects on our lives in ways we never thought of. Has anyone ever asked, what is sleep deprivation? According to Stedman's Medical Dictionary, written by Lippincott, Williams, and Wilkins, 2006, sleep deprivation is a sufficient lack of restorative sleep over a cumulative period so as to cause physical, psychiatric symptoms and affect routine performance of tasks. Research shows that sleep deprivation can be most problematic when it involves aviation or healthcare professionals. In this presentation, I will show you how sleep deprivation puts all of us at risk whenever we need to fly or need medical care. The following report came from the U.S. Department of Transportation. The authors of the study, Nethus et al., 2006, analyzed responses to a modified version of the Standard Shift Work Index Survey. A lot of words there. The purpose was to study the risk factors for commuting air traffic controllers who were driving to and from work. Surveys were sent to 23,000 air traffic controllers. Questions in the survey included their alertness, commuting variables, accidents, lapses of attention. The one factor that showed up was that those who had commutes longer than 20 miles were the most at risk. Also, those who worked early morning or late night shifts were most problematic. Air traffic control specialists work rapidly rotating shifts. These types of schedules and shifts have been attributed to lapses of attention, falling asleep at the wheel, and near misses while driving. The recommendations that came out of this study seem like common sense. As soon as you notice any signs of fatigue or sleepiness while driving, you must pull off the road, take a break, get a short nap. In the next article, the sleep, subjective fatigue, and sustained attention of commercial airline pilots during an international pattern. This was written by Petrelli et al., 2006. The authors discussed the results of a study of 19 commercial airline pilots who flew international patterns. These pilots are subjected to heightened fatigue due to their work schedules compared to normal pilots. Their work schedules included night flying, multiple time zone changes, long duty days, and uneven sleep schedules. The results of the study showed that the pilots were much more fatigued at the end of their international flights than at the beginning. Their sustained attention and subjective fatigue levels were much higher at the end than they were when they started. Pilots with impaired sustained attention can lead to missing environmental cues, which can then lead to accidents. As far as the medical profession goes, in the article Extended Work Shifts and the Risk of Motor Vehicle Crashes Among Interns, written by Barger et al., 2005, the authors conducted a nationwide survey, 2,700 residents in their first postgraduate year. The survey included information on work schedules, documented car accidents, near-miss incidents, and involuntary sleeping incidents. Results from the survey showed that interns who worked extended shifts over 24 hours were 9.1% more likely to be involved in an accident. Today's interns work extended shifts and average less than 4 hours of sleep per night. Interns who have worked extended shifts of more than 24 hours straight put themselves in hazardous positions. What is hard to understand, why would hospitals continue to force or allow the interns to work these types of hours? The study looked into sleep deprivation and the increased risk of car accidents among interns, but did not research sleep deprivation and the risk to the interns' patients. More research needs to be done with the emphasis being on the patients. In the article, The Effect of Sleep Disruption on the Performance of Anesthetists, pilot study by Murray and Dodds, the authors discussed the results of the study they conducted on sleep disruption and its effect on anesthetists. The purpose of the study was to measure the anesthetist's vigilance after an interrupted night of sleep compared to a normal night. The study was conducted with 11 anesthetists over a period of 20 days using a driving simulator. In this chart right here, we can see where the number of steering errors during the time of undisturbed sleep actually went down. As they got more familiar with the driving simulator, they made less errors. Once they had their sleep disturbed over a regular period of time, the number of driving errors dramatically increased over the period of the study. Again, this was Murray and Dodds, 2003. The research cited in this presentation has shown that sleep deprivation can cause serious problems when it involves aviation or healthcare professionals. It is hard to believe that with all the research on sleep deprivation that these two industries would continue to fight the results. Hospitals still want their interns to work 100 hours per week with little or no sleep in order to prove themselves. Airline industry still has schedules that cause sleep deprivation and won't allow sufficient recovery time. Changes need to be made in both of these industries. With more research and proper education on the hazards of sleep deprivation, we can limit the number of airline accidents and post-operative complications. Got time for a couple of questions? Go right ahead.
What can you do to limit the risk of others who are sleep deprived?
What you can do is don't drive at night if you can avoid it. This is when most of the big rigs are on the roads. You have tired drivers trying to make their deliveries as fast as they can. Also, if you can, avoid the hospital on nights or on weekends. They're minimally staffed and usually have the least experienced sleep-deprived interns working.
What is being done about sleep deprivation among pilots and doctors?
Good question. There's been quite a bit of research done involving both groups. More research is needed and is being done now. The problem seems to be that the industries are not listening to the research. Pilots are still not getting enough rest between flights. Doctors are still working long hours without the proper amount of rest. We as consumers need to make sure these two professions change the way they operate as far as pilots and doctors having enough sleep. Thank you.